initial, or the closed area where most of the problem was. They pulled another big generator away from it. They took all the tools out of the shop and some of the other buildings out there. But I think that if that fire had started in that drum of fuel oil, that whole row of buildings would be gone. I think it probably would have even carried into our big warehouse, because I think there would have been quite a large explosion, and it seems to me there would have been a lot of injuries and even loss of lives. So it was a blessing. And furthermore, it was a blessing because you guys, and I'm talking about supporters and donors from all over the United States, bucked up and determined that they were going to help by sending funds to help us pay for what we needed to do. We looked in the beginning, in the beginning we thought it might be $60,000 or $65,000 replacement and repair, but now it's looking more like $90,000 to $100,000. And a lot of people have responded to that. I said in the United States, but as you know, we're working in Canada and the other countries too. I think the greatest source and resource that we had was people praying so that we could really start immediately to put things back in place. As Jim said, things normalized around here as much as possible pretty quick. Of course, that's without electric, and initially it was without water. Those are some of the things that you count on quite a bit. But we were able to immediately make plans to get another generator. You can see it sitting there now. We bought a lot of other equipment too. It's amazing the price that you pay for some of the things that it takes to keep that going. There was one switch. Now, we know a generator can be $20,000 to $30,000. I mean, that's pretty easy to understand. But I showed Jim a switch today, and I don't know if I asked him how much he thought it cost, or if I just told him. But one switch was $3,900. And we needed a couple of different switches, different sizes, and all the gear and what have you that's needed to put this back together. And it really adds up quickly. But we're talking about blessings now. Not only did people start sending money right away, the initial funds started coming almost immediately. But we had another friend of the mission loan us the money to buy the generator. So we actually went into town the same day and came back with a generator that cost over $20,000. And we could only do that because of the blessing of someone loaning the money. We're not a mission that can say that we are sitting with 20 or 30 or 50 or $100,000 in the bank. If we were people, it would be paycheck to paycheck. Our mission is the same way. It's just one day to the next. We operate on faith. God is a faithful God, and we're able to continue with our work all over the world with the proceeds of what comes in from the people like you that are helping us out. But again, back to that blessing, we were actually able to go to just 2 different places and get everything we need to get things back online. You can't even do that hardly in the United States with that kind of deal. So yeah, God was really looking out for us there as well. Today, a lot took place on site as changes were made to the structure that we have out there now. We're getting ready to build a new generator house under the large shelter area. But we needed to tear out the bad truss joists, roofing. We had to knock out some walls. We had to build some other walls up, and there's a lot going on right out there. And we've been blessed because our staff, our Haitian workers, have just hung right in there. And they worked until dark tonight. I wanted to be with them tonight, which is why I was late for dinner again. And what did you say a second ago? I didn't hear you.
So that's what one here is happening out there.
It's way cool, just the way everyone is pitched in. And not just paid staff. We had people out there and have been talked about how people like to help even when you're building houses out around. We had, like our roofer, is a pretty cool guy, but he didn't do any roofing because that comes later. But he was out tonight until dark working as a mason, helping to get that wall up. That's just the kind of a response that we get from everyone. 4 o'clock is quitting time, even for the staff, but as you're aware, they work till well after 6 o'clock. Just wanting to help and get things done. So it's just a blessing to be able to see how people pull together. And the synergy that Gretchen was talking about this morning is certainly something that has been taking place here. We've lost some time. I've lost, it seems like a week, working on the children's home now. It's just a couple of days, but that's putting us back because for one thing, we had to stop production. We couldn't build trusses anymore. We had to slow down with other things, but it's still moving and headed in the right direction. Cool stuff.